Alright guys, on today's video we're going to be doing paint correction on this 2015 Honda Accord. I pulled it out in the sun. I've washed it. We've already prepped the surface with the handy sponge or clay barred the surface. It's very, very smooth now, but I want you to see the swirls, how bad they are. And it's not so much that they're bad, it's just the fact that, well, the paint is black and it's going to show every little tiny swirl. Then after this, we're going to go back with some, well, I don't know what I'm going to use yet. I haven't decided. But this is black. This Accord has black pearl paint. It's got, I don't know if you can see it, but hopefully we're going to be able to get that to pop. There are some chips in the paint for sure. There are some scuff marks. There's definitely swirls, but hopefully we'll get the majority of that taken care of. There is a little bit of clear coat damage on the front from where bugs have been. That's not going to come out. We may be able to minimize that. But yeah, I'm going to have to pull the car inside, let the paint cool off. But I don't know, hopefully the camera's picking this up how bad, and the trunk is especially bad. There's a lot of swirls and some marring from improper washing and taking it through automatic car washes. This is why you don't want to do this, well, on any car, but particularly black cars. Nothing looks better than a black car with really nice paint. Really, it doesn't. So we're gonna give it the best we can do with what we've got to work with. And let me get this pulled in and we'll get started. All right, so obviously the sunlight, it's not really going to show up as much. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a test area on the trunk because that's the worst area. I'm going to tape off a section and let me look and see what I want to use for our test pad and also test compound. All right, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go with our Meguiar's correcting compound. Now this is really designed for using microfiber cutting or pads, and this paint is borderline. It's almost to the point where I could use a microfiber pad, but the problem is it does leave a slight bit of hazing. So I'm going to be using the orange pad right here, and well, we're going to see what happens. I think it'll work well. By combining these two. I do like this compound a lot, but I really never used it, I don't think, with the orange pad. So we're going to just do this section right here. Spread everything out. You want to use the least invasive that you can. Let's take a look. I'm going to use the Eagle Edgeless. This is the Korean microfiber. It's probably one of the softest microfibers I've ever felt. Wow, that is really nice. So I'm thinking that this is a good combination. And again, I'm going after clarity here. This is black paint, of course, and it's very susceptible. It's soft, if you will, but it corrects quick. And there's no deep scratches in here. There's just a lot of mild swirls. And I think that's what I'm going to use. So I'm going to do the entire trunk, then we'll pull it back out in the sun and take a look at it and see what kind of results we get. All right, so I didn't want to waste you guys' time. After looking at it, I probably removed 50%, 60%, which is unacceptable in this car. So I am going to do one more pass with the orange pad on here and see if that's enough to at least get 90%. All right, hopefully the camera's picking this up. I've probably got 70% swirl reduction scratch. There's a few mild scratches in there, but that's not good enough, not acceptable. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch to an Americana pad. This pad is a lot smaller. I'll be able to get a little bit more pressure on there. I can't remember which brand pad this is, but I'm going to switch pads and see if that helps. If not, we'll go to plan Q. All right, so I got about 90% of these swirls out. There are a few scratches that are not coming out with this application, but I'm going to show you guys what I ended up using. Do not judge me, all right? Don't judge me. I pulled this out. I had a brand new bottle of the Adams correcting polish, and for this application, that's what I'm going to use. We're not going to be using the Meguiar's, and I'm going to continue to use the Americana, the small pad. Hopefully I can get this in one pass, but yeah, it's doing a great job. I mean, what can I say? You're gonna have to experiment with your paint, different paints, different types of correction. You know, sometimes you gotta think outside of what you normally use. But anyway, that is what I'm going to go with. So I'm going to, the only thing, let me just say this, the only thing I don't like about the Adams is the ungodly amount of dust it creates. It looks like pepper all over here, but that's okay. We're getting the paint corrected. So I'm going to go ahead and do the entire car, and we'll come back and I'll let you look at it. All right, so I have completely paint corrected the entire car. As you can see, there's no water beading to speak of. It's just one big sheet like it was before we ever put anything on it. However, there are oils and petroleum products in the Adams, and we want to get that completely off before we apply the sealant. Now, what I've done is I went ahead and washed the car again with the Purple Power Vehicle and Boat Wash. I just basically foamed it, and the Adams leaves an enormous amount of dust, so I wanted to get that out, and that's the most efficient way to do it. So I'm going to go ahead and dry the car, and then I'm going to go back with like a body solve paint prep and wipe the entire car down. Then it'll be ready for the sealant that I'm going to show you, and we'll do a long-term test on it, and we'll be right back. All right, so the car is ready to have the sealant applied, and the sealant of choice, I've never used this before, is going to be the Jescar Power Lock Plus. This is the same thing as the Menzerna. So I'm going to apply it over the whole car, and I'm going to do it with a machine if I can find my black pad, and then I will bring you guys back. It's got to cure on here for 30 minutes, and then we'll wipe off, and we'll be done with the project. So I'm not going to bore you with the application. If you want to know how to apply this, you can go back and look at the Make That Paint Shine series. I'm going to go step by step into great detail about this. But with that being said, let me get this going because it is really hot in here, and I'll bring you guys back when it's on there. All right, guys, here is the final result. This car has a lot more clear coat damage than I originally had estimated. It's got a lot of places where bugs have eaten into the clear coat. There's some dings and scratches and things that are actually in the clear coat that really are not going to be able to, you wouldn't be able to get it out with buffing. However, the Jetscar Power Lock, incredibly smooth. So we're going to do a long-term test to see how long this lasts, to see if it lasts longer than the Adams liquid paint sealant. It's not as easy to remove as the Adams, but it's got a lot of good following. A lot of people like it. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. It's super hot, but I'm pleased with the results. This is one reason why I hope I don't ever own a black car. They look phenomenal when they're clean and they are standing tall like this, but you know, in a day or two it's going to be dusty and you'll be able to see it. So, but nothing looks better than a shiny black car. Anyway, guys, I appreciate your viewership. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. Hit the little notification bell next to the subscribe button. That will alert you to the instant I upload new content, and I will see you guys on the next video.